Hello folks, Wolf Ninja here, bringing you another nerdy video. Today, I'll be doing part 2 of my D&D 5th edition Ranger discussion. Now, if my voice sounds a bit odd, that is because I forgot to do something before I start recording, and I really don't want to have to restart all this again for the third time. But I am quickly making a cup of tea. But let's get started. Now, this second part of the video is going to be more or less focusing on the conclaves, as they're called, for the Ranger, which is now again me and some of my friends, when we discuss classes for Dungeons and Dragons, we always sort of go back and forth whether or not calling them archetypes or advanced classes, which are, for example, the Paladin Sacred Oaths, Druids and their circles, and so forth. Now, I've heard people say the arguments for archetypes because they are the classes that choose from level 1 what their their archetype's going to be. But anyway, the debate can be made for either case. So now, when it comes to the Ranger, now there are already a lot of changes done to the Ranger in the revised, which again, folks, is available for free if you go on to Wizards of the Coast website and go to their Unearthed Arcana section. Believe me, I've played both Rangers, and I can say definitively that the Ranger from the UA is a lot stronger. And especially the Beast Conclave. You see, the way your class worked with the vanilla Ranger was you would get access to extra attacks, but your animal companion has to consume your attacks in order to attack. And the problem with the old way was that it wasn't very effective, because often or not your character was far superior to your animal companion. For example, look at Critical Role, Vaxalia. Even after she got the medallion, which allowed her to keep Trinket safe and potentially be a bit more risky with Trinket, she did not in fact do it. Because her attacking was just so much better than having Trinket attacks. So for the vast majority, I think there's only at most 10 episodes, I would say. Out of 115, at most, there are 10 episodes where Vaxalia actually utilized Trinket. Now again, that is because the scaling of your animal companion was very bad. Whereas with the Ranger Revised, it works completely different. For example, instead of getting access to extra attacks as a Ranger, let's see, I believe you lose your extra attacks with the Ranger UA. You lose your extra attack, but your animal companion now actually gets to his own turn. He works much in the same way as a Necromancer's Undead. It rolls its own initiative, and it will carry out simple commands, such as it will instinctively go after whoever you're attacking or protect you. Or it will back up your allies. Now, again, when I played the Ranger UA, I still gave my animal companion attacks. I'll tell it, okay, back up, whatever, But, either way, he scaled. Let's see, let me just double check here. Ranger Conclave, third level. Yeah, you do not get access to extra attack. Just double check here, level 5. Yeah, you get your Beast Conclave Ranger feature. Now, so yeah, you lose your extra attack now. I'm pretty sure they do not do that when it comes to the Hunter. But the first Conclave is Beast Conclave, otherwise known as Beastmaster. So, for the most part, there's not much flavor. Oh wait, there is some flavor. Here we go. Ranger conclaves. Here's what it says about them. Across the wilds, rangers come together to form conclaves, loose associations whose members share a similar outlook on how to best protect nature from those who would despoil it. Beast Conclave. Many rangers are more at home in the wilds than in civilization, to the point where animals consider them kin. Rangers of the Beast Conclave develop a close bond with a beast, then further strengthen that bond through the use of magic. So, as soon as you get access to this class, you get access to a magical ritual that will allow you to create a powerful bond with a creature of the natural world. You spend 8 hours of work and you spend about 50 gold pieces worth of rare herbs and fine foods, and you call forth an animal from the wilderness to serve as your faithful companion. You normally select a companion from among the following animals: an ape, a black bear, a boar, a giant badger, a giant weasel, a mule, a panther, or a wolf. Now, you can pick like ravens. I've seen people pick ravens before and all that. To be honest with you, if I was playing a ranger, I would obviously pick a wolf because that's what I would pick. But then I would probably get Ritual Caster to get Find Familiar. I'll get the Ritual Caster fee so I can get the Find Familiar spell, and I would then create like a bird animal companion. Sorry about if you're hearing beeps. That's my... No matter how many times I mute this Discord channel, it keeps getting unmuted. And it really, annoys me sometimes. But anyway, where was I? So yeah, now you can discuss with your DM. This section does cover how whoever your DM might pick one of these animals for you based on your surrounding terrain and what types of creatures would logically be present in the area. I would allow, depending on the animal companion, I will make some loose allowances. Like, I know technically picking like a flying snake is not allowed, but depending on how the person felt and the discussion with them, I may allow it. But yeah, at the end of your 8 hours, the animal appears and gains all the benefits of your your companion bond ability. You can only have one animal companion at a time. If your animal companion is ever slain, the magical bond you share allows you to return it to life with 8 hours work, and you spend 25 gold pieces worth of the rare herbs and fine food. You call forth your animal's companion's spirit and use your magic to create a new body for it. You can return an animal companion to life in this manner even if you do not possess any part of its body. If you use this ability to return a former animal companion to life while you have a current animal companion, your current companion leaves you and is replaced by the restored companion. Now, I like how they give you that I love how they give you that option. The only thing is, though, I don't see why a person would... It's cheaper to restore a companion than it is to get a new one. So, I find it weird that, like... Don't get me wrong, I understand why they would allow you to possibly have other animal companions out there, but like it is possible, like you perform the ritual again. Say if you've tried out the wolf, but you were like, nah, it's too weak. Or if you're going somewhere, like I find it a bit odd because, like, to me, the animal companion is something very meaningful to your character. Characters just shouldn't be willing to swap them out so carelessly. And if he knows he can restore it to life, that should be his immediate action instead of replacing them. Now, don't get me wrong, I like the idea of a ranger possibly having, like, if your party has like a base of operations or their own building or whatever, I like the idea of having like the ranger and the druid having their own little section of the land
like again, check out Matthew Colville's Strongholds and Followers PDF that's coming out in September. But essentially, I like the idea of like if you do have a stronghold for the party, not just a single character, that the ranger and the druid have their own like little garden area, and the ranger actually has several animals there, and they are all like sort of tamed. But wherever, depending on where he's going, he won't bring an ape to an Arctic tundra. If he was going to an Arctic tundra, he will explain to his ape companion like, "I'm sorry, but I can't bring you. It'll be too dangerous." He would then bring possibly a wolf, most likely. That type of situation. So only one of them can benefit from his animal companion thing, but it allows the ranger to have multiple animal companions. It's just that he has to return, he leaves them behind, while for their own good, because he knows that they'll be very uncomfortable in that environment. And I'm trying something out with one of my friends. Believe it or not, he's playing at Ranger. He just started yesterday, and we found a Pokemon. We found a Twitter account that is creating a whole bunch of Pokemon, first generation. Now they have started second generation, but yeah, I found it and I was like, hey, yeah, you can have one of the starter Pokemon. They're a little bit stronger than what both rangers talk about. But I was like, hey, you want it? We'll do it. You're level 4, so come on, let's give it a try. He chose Charmander, and I gotta say, I'm gonna allow him to. He has these acorns. From what I recall, from what he told me, I'm not a big Pokemon fan. I love the video games. I don't know much about the lore. But according to him, at one point, he did tell me that in the lore, they originally used acorns before Pokeballs to capture Pokemon and all that. So I'm doing something with that, and I'm going to allow him, he can only have one that gains the benefits of his, bond. But these acorns are more, the Rangers use them more to relocate animals instead of outright killing them. Instead of outright killing them, they would capture them and release them back into the wild away from civilization. But you could potentially tame them. They're still wild. Even if you capture them and release them, they're still wild. But you could possibly tame them, and through this ritual, you could form the bond with them. But only one can form a bond with them. But the thing is, though, you could potentially carry multiple creatures with you. So yeah. So, now, your animal companion benefits from, gets several benefits when it's linked to you. The animal companion loses its multi-attack action for if it has one. The companion obeys your commands as best as it can, and it rolls initiative like any other creature, but you determine its actions, decisions, and attitudes, and so on. If you are incapacitated or absent, your companion acts on its own. When using your Natural Explorer feature, you and your animal companion can both move stealthily at a normal pace. Now here is the important part, folks. Keep track of your proficiency, especially with this UA. When you gain your animal companion at 3rd level, its proficiency bonuses matches yours at +2. As you gain levels and increase your proficiency bonus, remember that your companion's proficiency bonus also improves as well, and is applied to the following areas: armor class, skills, saving throws, attack bonus, and damage rolls. Your animal companion has abilities and game statistics determined in part by your level. Your companion uses your proficiency bonus rather than its own. In addition to the areas where it normally uses its proficiency bonus, an animal companion also adds its proficiency bonus to its AC and its damage rolls. So, let me just fix my chair. Your animal companion also gains proficiency in 2 skills of your choice and also becomes proficient in all saving throws, which my friend actually forgot to do. We forgot to set that up. whenever you gain an ability, for each level you gain after third, your animal companion gains the additional hit die and increases its hit points accordingly. Whenever you gain the ability score improvement class feature, your companion's abilities also improve. Your companion can increase one ability score of your choice by 2, or it can increase 2 ability scores of your choice by 1. As normal, your companion can't increase the ability score above 20 using this feature unless its description specifies otherwise. Your animal companion shares your alignment and has a personality trait and flaw that you can roll for or select from the tables below. Your companion shares your ideal, and its bond is always, "The ranger who travels with me is my beloved companion, for whom I will gladly give my life." Now, they do explain why no multi-attack, and that's because it will put the beast and the ranger at too much of a threat, as opposed to a barbarian. Like, it'll be stepping on the toes of the rest of the party. So, now there are sections about expanding your companion options, but let's not get let's not get too involved into it. As it does give some concepts, as in, like, it should be medium or smaller, has 15 or fewer hit points, and it cannot deal more than 8 damage with a single attack, which I think Charmander fits all. Oh yeah, right on. In general, that applies to creatures rating of a quarter or less, but there are exceptions. Charmander is challenge rating 1. Let's see if my friend's Charmander fits all those descriptions, shall we? Hold on, let's find out. There we go. Let's see. I don't think. A part of me doubts it fits into all those descriptions. Let's see. Challenge rating 1. Hit points 18. So okay, so exceeds the hit points bit. Its attacks deal on 1 hit 2d6 fire damage. Okay, that's sorry, 1 target hit 9. Okay, so yeah, it deals 1 more than the normal. So yeah, the Charmander is significantly stronger. It breaks the rule on 2 points, but only by the smallest of margins. Yeah. But okay, let's get back into it. Now let's see. It's the traits are as follows. Oh, your animal also gains the benefits of your favorite enemy feature and your greater favorite enemy feature when you gain that 6th level. It uses the favorite enemies you selected for those features. Its traits are 6 options. I'm dauntless in the face of adversity. Threaten my friends, you threaten me. I stay on alert so others can rest. People see an animal and underestimate me. I use that to my advantage. I have a knack for showing up in the nick of time. I put my friends' needs before my own in all things. And here's a flaw. Now, I chose one. I actually let my other players pick this for me, because it was something that we all were going to enjoy. If there's food left untended, I'll eat it. I growl at strangers and all people except my ranger. And all people except my ranger are strangers to me. Any time is a good time for a belly rub. I'm deadly afraid of water. My idea of hello is a flurry of licks to the face. I jump on creatures to tell them how much I love them. Now, I actually had to discuss with my player because he took the I'm deadly afraid of water to his character. I'm gonna make sure he understands that's for his animal, not him. But anyway, at level 5 you get coordinated attack. Beginning at 5th level, you and your animal companion form a more potent fighting team. When you use the attack action on your turn, if your companions can see you, it can use its reaction to make a melee attack. So effectively increasing your combat proficiency. The Beast Defense. While your companion can see you, it has advantage on all saving throws. At level 11, it has Storm of Claws and Fangs. Your companion can use its action to make a melee attack against each creature if it's of its choice within 5 feet of it, with a separate attack roll for each of them. So basically, instead of getting multi-attack, it has at level 11, it can attack each creature of its choice within 5 feet of it. So that is effectively a target. So instead of normally getting only 3 attacks at most, with general multi-attacking, I've only ever seen creatures with 3, especially beasts, unless they're really high CR. This could effectively allow your beast to get surrounded and attack 8 times. Not counting smaller creatures, taking up the same space. Now, at 15th level, you get Superior Beast Defense. Whenever an attacker that your companion can see hits it with an attack, it can use its reaction to halve the attack's damage against it. So depending on what type of roll you want your beast to do, like sometimes you may want it to get to use its reaction for that extra attack, or you may be like, okay, if your animal is just after you, like it'd be more effective for you to, like, depending on how many enemies are in between you and your animal companion, it may be effective to what's it called, attack it. Sorry, for you to attack, and then they have it attack someone else, and then it will then get back its reaction as soon as it goes back to its turn. It can then do its normal attack sequence, and then by the time it gets back to you, if it has used beast defense, then probably use it. But again, that depends on the initiative order. Sometimes your animal can go before you. But that's it, folks, for the Beast Ranger Conclave. We actually spent 20 minutes talking on that one. I'm sorry, folks. I did not mean to go that far. So yeah, let's move on, because we have 5 archetypes to talk about. So this video may be, the Ranger may become a 3-part class discussion. Some Rangers seek to master weapons to better protect civilization from the terrors of wilderness. Members of the Hunter Conclave learn specialized fighting techniques for use against the most dire threats, from rampaging ogres and hordes of orcs to towering giants and terrifying dragons. At 3rd level, you gain one of the following features of your choice. Now, think of this like a secondary. Strongly consider your favorite enemy, folks, when you look at this, okay? Colossal Slayer. Your tenacity can wear down the most potent foes. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, that creature takes an extra 1d8 damage if it's below its hit point maximum. You can deal this extra damage only once per turn. Pretty handy, especially when you deal with those creatures that have lots and lots of health. Giant Killer. When a large or larger creature is within 5 feet of you, hits or misses you with an attack, you can use your reaction to attack that creature immediately after its attack, provided that you can see the creature. So basically, you duck out away of its hand as it tries to reach out and grab you. You then sort of like slash at its arm. Horde Breaker. Once on each of your turns, when you make a weapon attack, you can make another weapon attack with the same weapon against a different creature that is within 5 feet of the original target and within range of your weapon. That is very effective. I believe you lose, even with the Hunter Conclave, you lose multi-attack. Hold on. Oh yeah, sorry. With this class, you get extra attack. So effectively, against Horde Breaker with your extra attack is really powerful, because you're just going to be like, alright, so it's one attack action. Boom, you hit a creature. Horde Breaker. Okay, so you get to make a free attack against another creature that's right next to it, a different one. So boom, oh, extra attack. I'm going to hit now the other guy. So then I get into do another attack against the other one as well. So that is very effective, folks. Now you only get the 2 attacks, but with Horde Breaker, those groups of goblins, kobolds, or whatever, they're going to drop down very quickly, because you're just going to be letting loose ridiculous amount of arrows very quickly, or slashing away very quickly. So yeah, at level 5, you get extra attack. At 7th level, you actually get defensive tactics. Escape the Horde. Opportunity attacks against you are made with disadvantage. Multi-attack defense. When a creature hits you with an attack, you gain a +4 bonus to your AC against all subsequent attacks made by that creature for the rest of the turn. Very effective against dragons who get 3 attacks on you if they don't use their breath attack. So, very effective. But the thing is, though, they have to first hit you. So that first hit, you can take lots of damage, but then you can dodge then the rest. Steel Will. You have advantage on saving throws against being frightened. So they're all your defensive tactics. Remember, you only get one of them, folks. You can't stop them out. At level 11, you get multi-attack. You get a choice of one of the following abilities. Now, there's only 2. You can volley. You can use your action to make a ranged attack against a number of creatures within 10 feet of a point that you can see within your weapon's range. You must have ammunition for each target as normal, and you make separate attack rolls for each target. So essentially, got a bow, got a crossbow, or whatever. You then just let loose a whole bunch of shots on that area. So 10 feet within one area, that is potentially, let's see, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's A, and then a further A. So that's a potential of 16 targets, folks, with just one attack action. No, you have to use your action to do that, so yeah. But yeah, instead of getting 2 attacks or potentially 4 attacks, you then get A. So no, you get 16, folks. That is, including the one in the center. Including the one in the center. That is 17 targets, folks. That is a lot. Now you also get Whirlwind Attack. You can use your action to make melee weapon attacks against any number of creatures within 5 feet of you with a separate attack roll for each target. That's a maximum of 8. So depending on what type of ranger you want to be, I like being a ranger that prioritizes the bow. So I'll probably end up going with volley if I was going to go with this. But again, when it comes to being rangers, I prefer Beast Companion. You also get Superior Hunter's Defense. Now, folks, I would say Aragorn from Lord of the Rings is a Hunter Conclave Ranger. Probably not the UA, but probably from more along in terms of the Player's Handbook. And the Player Handbook and the DM guides actually do reference Lord of the Rings. Hell, there's even a creature in Lord of the Rings that was based, apparently now it's based off another creature from other folklore. I think from Celtic folklore, a Baelor. And a Baelor is based, but the Baelor from D&D is actually based off the Balrog. So I like that sort of thing, like the Balrog based off the Baelor from Irish folklore. But the Baelor from D&D, instead of being based off the Celtic one, it's based off the Lord of the Rings Balrog. It's a funny sort of chain of inspiration. But okay, folks, let's get to the Superior Hunter's Defense. Level 15, Evasion. When you are subsequent to an effect such as a Red Dragon's Fiery Breath or a Lightning Bolt spell that allows you to make a Dexterity saving throw, you take only half damage instead of taking no damage if you succeed on a saving throw and only half damage if you fail. Well, okay, so if you pass the saving throw, you take no damage, but if you fail it, you take half. Okay. Stand against the tide. When a hostile creature misses you with a melee attack, you can use your reaction to force that creature to repeat the same attack against another creature other than itself of your choice. So yeah, that would be fun, especially with the sword type of playstyle, because not only would you have Whirlwind Attack and escape and escape the horde, you could be forcing them to hit each other as well. You know? Uncanny Dodge. When an attacker that you can see hits you an attack, you can use your reaction to half the attack's damage against you. That again goes more along terms of line if you hold singular large creatures such as giants and dragons, or evasion works best for dragons, I think. Now, folks, we're on the last class now from the UA. Let's see how much time we have. See, that only took 10 minutes. We might be able to get all of them done. Actually, no, there's 3 more. Oh god, we'll split into a 3-part video, folks. Okay, this next one is a UA one. It's fully from the UA. It's not from the player's handbook. It's called the Deep Stalker Conclave. Most folks descend into the depths of the Underdark only under the most pressing conditions, undertaking some desperate quest or following the promise of vast riches. All too often, evil festers beneath the earth unnoticed, and Rangers of the Deep Stalker Conclave strive to uncover and defeat such threats before they can reach the surface. At 3rd level, you get the Underdark Scout feature. You're a master of the of ambush. On your first turn during combat, you get a plus 10 bonus to your speed, and if you use the attack action, you can make 1 additional attack. Oh wow, cool. If you are also adept at evading creatures that rely on dark vision, such creatures gain no benefit when attempting to detect you in the dark and dim conditions. Additionally, when the DM determines if you can hide from a creature, that creature gains no benefits from its dark vision. Wow. So in total darkness, even normally with dark vision, if a creature could see you, see you in the dark, again, we're talking about no lights, folks. So they're using their dark vision. And say you're, that means you can take the hide action, despite the fact that normally they could see you, but this negates their dark vision, giving them the ability to see you for when you're going to hide. That is, wow. That's really weird. And it's very effective with the Wood Elf thing. Let's see what else. You also get access to Deep Stalker Magic. At 3rd level, you gain Dark Vision out to a range of 90 feet. If you already have Dark Vision, you increase its range by 30 feet, which I find hilarious because most races only have a Dark Vision of 60 feet, and if you already have Dark Vision, you get increased by 30 feet, which gives you the 90. Except for Drow and Duergar, but Duergar are not a playable race of Drow. They have superior Dark Vision, 120, so that becomes 150. That's the max range of the short bow, I believe. But let's see here. You also gain access to additional spells at 3rd level. 3rd, 5th, 9th, 13th, and 15th level. Once you gain a Deep Stalker spell, it counts as a ranger spell for you, but doesn't count against the number of spells you know. Wow. So these are just free spells that you always have. 3rd level, Disguise Self. Really cool. You can disguise yourself as a Drow or Duergar, and most probably won't even bother you then. Road Trick. I do not know what that does. Glyph of Warding. Great for when you want to take your long rest. Greater invisibility. Very good for and Seeming. All good. You also get extra attack at 5th level. What do you get with the Beast Conclave? At 5th level. Oh yeah, you get coordinate attack. Huh. I wonder why they didn't give the Beast Conclave. Now again, it sort of makes sense. Let's see. I wonder if they give an explanation for the. Hold on, folks. Let's see if they give an explanation for no extra attack for Beast Conclave. So let's see. Over the past year, we've seen. You've seen us try a number of approaches to the Ranger, all aimed at adjusting the class high levels of player dissatisfaction and its ranking as D&D's weakest class by a significant margin. Those two factors combined let us put us on a path of revision. We have classes that rate as weak, but which nonetheless have high levels of player satisfaction. That tells us people are having those classes, are happy with how their character's abilities work and with their experience of the level. Even if those classes aren't the strongest. After all, not every class can rank at the top. Likewise, most issues we see with classes are confined to specific abilities that don't play a big role in terms of what other player likes the class or as a whole. In other words, no class is perfect, but each is close enough to the mark in its own way that players have. As such, the Ranger status as the sore spot for players has been a cause for concern for a while, and as of today we present a new revision of the Ranger, though it contains many of the elements existing. Paladin's phase goes back to just because we found a few actors combined. Many players want to play Rangers, but few were happy with the class, which held its place at the bottom of the class power rankings by some much less individual features. Also filled in the top 10 list of lowest rated individual character features. Where our course set for vision, we spent past experiment getting feedback. Blah 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 blah. Our next finally we can't turn into this iteration of the Ranger feature or future revision of its grant. Huh. I could have swore I heard something about extra attack and Ranger UA. Hold on. Ranger revise. No. Attack for beast. Let's see. Now I remember that they did discuss it for some reason. I can't remember where it was. Okay. Let's say if you're playing this in the other card, push shopping after the flood, you get to the west. Take no targets. Okay, according to this, like actually, it turns out the Ranger was supposed to get extra attack, but apparently it was an oversight. Which I find weird. That's weird. So, like, apparently it's an oversight, from what I'm gathering. Sorry, hold on. My mouse is being a bit fidgety. Ranger revised. Beast. Enclave. No. So I still find it a bit weird that they seemingly intended to give it extra attack, but then they didn't. Like, they remembered to give it to the other ones before. Uh-huh. That's weird. Ah. Oh my god, this is really annoying. So I need to get a new mouse, folks. It is really getting fidgety now. Like, it's like there are times where it does not work. Okay. So yeah, okay, again, apparently it's the case where the Ranger, like all Ranger classes are supposed to get extra attack. So, yeah. Alright, so where was I? Sorry about that, folks. I was finding it curious that like all of them were getting extra attack except for the Beast Conclave. Apparently, I could understand it, but then after seeing like everyone getting extra attacks, I'm like, what the hell? Alright, so there's no extra attack does. At 7th level, you get Iron Mind, which gives you proficiency in Wisdom saving throws, which will help you against Mind Flares and Duragar and Drow, especially Mind Flares, which is very handy, since they inhabit the Underdark. Stalker's Flurry. Once on each of your turns, when you miss an attack, you can make another attack. Stalker's Dodge. At 15th level, whenever a creature attacks you and does not have advantage on you, you can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on the creature's attack roll against you. You can use this feature before or after the attack roll is made, but it must be used before the outcome of the roll is determined. And then that is it, folks. That is part 2 of the... Oh my god, my mouse! Why you no work? That is part 2 of the Ranger. Now I'm going to leave it there because I will not be able to go over all of the Xanatar's Guides classes in enough time. So they're going to be getting their own video. So basically after a while I'll do the Ranger video for the 3rd part, and then that should be it, and we'll be moving on to Rogue. And I will oh my god, and maybe hopefully I'll have a mouse that will work properly. I don't know why. There are days where it works perfectly fine, and then there are days, and I just recently changed batteries, but then there are days where it just won't do anything that I wanted to do. Which is why I'm looking forward to doing the Xanatar video one, because with that I don't have to use the mouse at all. I'll be using my book. But anyway, folks, I might have to assign a hotkey at some point to the recording stream on OBS. But anyway, this is Wilf Ninja, sign out, may the force be with you, and remember, roll for initiative.